to a Forever Skies video. I'm having to make a couple of videos. I've got a bit of time where I'm not about to be able to stream, so what we're doing is having a look at different bits and pieces, and we're going to do some shipbuilding. Now, if I move this out here, and then I can walk on it to get a good view of the ship, you can see it's changed a little bit. We've got the outriding nacelle section, which get the front of your ship the way you want it first, because when you remove balloons, putting new parts down is difficult. I've still got some paint work to do, which is why things are in different colours. But there's a bit that sticks out for the nacelle section on either side, but we're also going to be looking at some little choices that seem a bit strange. This is one of them. The turbine is actually right in the part itself. That still works. That keeps it nice and tidy. So all the others are going to be replaced and moved. The other thing is we've got our engines on the lower deck, our fishing deck, and we're going to build out this rear section a bit further. So let's have some fun with that. We will of course need the building tool, and we're also going to have the paint tool. And with the paint tool, I mean, that's just as straightforward as the rest. Press the button, come across, select the one you want. And now it's red. We'll not do these sections just yet, because we'll be doing the roof. You will have to keep an eye on your weight. If I can put it against a dark section there, if you look in the top right, you can see how heavy you can go and how much your ship already weighs. And in this case it also says how much the part that I've got selected. I can take it off. There you go. So 3.3 tons is how much we weigh, and I can do 5.3 tons. So I've got 2 tons of space until I add an extra blimp somewhere. I'll see if I can add one. It depends where I want to add it. I'm going to add it somewhere, but I want it low. So some of these rooms I'm putting in are probably going to get removed. But I need them to be able to put down certain pieces. We're going to... Okay, that's about as far back as I want to go. We now need to go downstairs. So back on the main deck again, and for some reason one of my water tanks has picked up a flash. I have no idea why it's doing that. I will not stare at that too long because I don't want anyone having issues. This is one of the outstick pieces, and you can see turbine and the nacelle sticking out. I don't want to come out any wider, but we are going to build over the engines. So this section here is going to be dismantled and moved backwards. We're going to leave the engines where they are. We're not going to touch that because that's got the fuel tank system, but we are going to remove everything that's on this deck and go backwards. Even when all you're doing is building, you do have to keep an eye on your stats, and remember that you are going to get hungry and thirsty. That flashing's even more annoying at night time. No idea why it's doing that. Answers on a postcard. And then we're going to remove that door and that corner unit. And then very carefully remove these without removing any of the engines, because we don't want to touch the engines. Although, you see how that piece is red? I mean, this piece isn't, even though it's got an engine on, that's because it's got pipe sections going through it. So now we need a room. we're going to go back 2, 3. So let's have a look. Do we do this one or this one? We will do that one, and then we're going to put in a glass corner. You rotate with the triangle. Now we can put rooms across the back. And then we put the other glass corner here. Now, slight difference, I'm going to put the solid walkway piece first. Then we use the bloom walkway. That requires fiberglass. And they've added these arrow marks, as you can see, which shows you the direction of preferred setup. Pop doors on. And we can also go to paint. And the great thing is with the windows, although the doors become double coloured, these don't. These would only be painted if you paint them up from the inside. You can see this cockpit's now the right way around. It's like the game remembers where the last cockpit was that you replaced, and when it comes to balloon positioning, it basically refuses to do anything unless you position things the way it likes it. So that cockpit's there, it knows it's pointing in the right direction. So with just one more piece to remove, we will now see if we can get our balloon put in spec. It'll go back there. Balloon expansion. Balloon expansion. I'm now to 6.5 tons. We're not adding anything to the front. So we're going to infill the wall section here, and then we can come in with our tool, remove those, remove that, go over to the rooms, and this gives us all this space. We can put walls and stuff in later. So we've filled in this, and we need to pop down the roofs. These also give you light, so that it's more than just reinforcement. And then we're able to remove the wall, so we can then get on with the building that we need to do. And we're going to put a normal room here, because we need to go here for what, even though we can't put a room there because of the air balloon, we can put one here, and it will let us go down the side. So we've got some expansion for putting our lifting units in place. I should have built this wider, but that's something to think about when you're doing various builds. If you get a design, it's easier to build from the start. I'm just going to build myself a temporary platform. So I can stand here, and it means I can now offload one of these, because these have to go on a wall. Oh, we've got glass railings left. Can we... Whoop, yeah, we can put them in. And then just as I say, oh, you can't build there, it's now decided to let me build down the sides. So this space can now be used for additional storage. The plants are going to be here. So although this isn't exactly a how-to, it's definitely a how-to and not, but it gives you an idea of what you can do with the shipbuilding. You can make your ship wider, longer, and one last thing to cover is that it does throw up an error of how far away you can build from the balloons, so you will end up removing balloons. There you go, too far from balloon. So if you want to build a long way out, you'll have to work out a way of temporarily dropping a balloon and then removing it. So obviously I had balloons over on this line and this line originally, and then I was able to build the front of the ship with the extra wide cockpit, which is that, gives you an amazing field of view. And then once I did that, I could build out, remove a balloon from here, stick the balloon over the side. Same on this one. Once that balloon was in place, I was able to remove the one that was here and put that one over there. This is what the ship looks like now. Getting the trophies is fairly straightforward. Getting 100% is a lot harder on this game. Great game to get. Hope you've enjoyed everything. Catch you again soon. And thanks for watching.